doesn't love a good meatball sandwich? It is definitely a pastime for me, but in the last couple of years, since trying to lose weight or maintain my weight, I have not been able to indulge in a meatball marinara type of sandwich. But today, in the Anabolic Laboratory, we will be making a version of a meatball marinara on garlic bread. It is super cheesy, overloaded with flavors. It is absolutely delicious. You will be able to take it to your wife, husband, boyfriend circle, give it to them, and they will have zero idea that it is an anabolic recipe. I guarantee it. We're preparing our meat from scratch, we're preparing the sauce from scratch, and at the end of the video, I'm going to compare the macros to a meatball marinara at Subway and also give you substitutions that you can use instead of the ones that I used if you want to make it even lower calorie. My name is Nick, or Exercise for Cheat Meals, where I make anabolic recipes or review anabolic recipes, and today we are going to make a absolutely delicious anabolic recipe. So if you're into that kind of thing, subscribe to the channel and like this video. So let's take it back to my Italian roots. Let's get into it. We have 3 components to this sandwich. 1, sauce. 2, garlic bread. 3, the meat itself. What benefits the most from sitting would be the sauce and the meat. So I'm gonna make the sauce first so it could sit to the side and kind of marinate in the flavors and let those all mix together. Then we'll make the meat, then we'll make the garlic bread. In Remington's deep dish pizza review, I made the sauce and I wanted to see how long from start to finish it would take me to make this sauce. And it took me 5 minutes. And for this sandwich specific recipe, you will have 10 sandwiches worth of sauce. Or if you want to make an anabolic pizza, you will have fresh sauce for that, etc., etc. It is well worth taking the 5 minutes and having a fresh sauce. Super low calorie, super flavorful. You will love that you did it if you actually do it. 1 can whole peeled tomatoes. I would prefer San Marzano, but today we have red gold. As long as they're whole peeled tomatoes, it'll work. I'm gonna go tomato by tomato, squeeze them in here. I'm kind of gonna rush through this since I have it on other videos as well, but I will let you know the ingredients and the amounts as we go. Let's take this time to talk about the people that say the videos are long. So the point of my channel is really not to be a tasty type of channel where they're like fast forwarding through everything, putting everything on the screen, not talking, and it's 2 or 3 minutes. I have 3 main goals when I make a video. 1 is to teach. So obviously we're gonna go through the recipe, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and I'm gonna show you how to have delicious recipes at hand that you can use for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, dessert, doesn't matter. 2, I wanna keep you entertained. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, 1 teaspoon of oregano, super monotone, boring as hell. That's not me. So I'm gonna throw jokes in there. I'm going to mess around a little bit. And also to go back to step 1 with teaching, I also want to explain if I know the science behind something, I wanna go a little bit deeper. Like with erythritol, I wanna go and tell you how many calories are in it, the science behind it, all that stuff. So I wanna be more like a Sam the Cooking Guy type of channel where he can go on tangents and also they show his mess ups and everything. I wanna show my mess ups too. I'm not perfect. I don't do everything right every single time, especially when you're trying to record and make a recipe at the same time. I forgot what my 3rd point was, but I mean, I'll bring it back up later when I remember. But for those reasons, that is why my videos will never be short. And I understand if you wanted to skip to the description, I always list the ingredients down in the description and you don't want to follow along for the whole video. Or if you don't want to subscribe because my videos are too long, I also understand that as well. I'm here just trying to teach the anabolic community different recipes that no one's really done on YouTube before, or in a different way, or bring a different type of comedy or entertainment to the channel. First couple times I didn't add tomato paste to the recipe. I really enjoy the tomato paste and it's only adding 30 calories to the overall recipe. So 2 tablespoons or about 33 grams. Now we're gonna add 7 grams of garlic. I prefer to have the fresh pressed good stuff. Salt is a touchy subject. I really like putting 6 grams in here. I was doing 8. I felt like it was a little too salty. I tried 4, it wasn't salty enough. I thought 6 was a great medium. You can have it to your taste if you want. This is the last thing you can add. and then you taste the sauce after you mix it around. Is it salty enough? No, add more salt. It's up to you. And about 1 gram of oregano. Red pepper flakes, also I'm going to add 1 gram here. You can opt to leave this out. It does bring a little bit of heat to the sauce, but it is well worth it in my opinion, and it's just a little tiny bit. If you want it extra spicy, I would put 2 grams in here. And then we're gonna go with 2.5 grams of onion powder. Again, along with the salt, you can choose to put how much you want in there. I think the 6 grams of salt along with 4 grams of the Swerve erythritol sweetener really balances out and gives a nice flavor. And then we have our olive oil. So I think a little bit of olive oil goes a long way. Same thing with the sausage that we're making. And all we're adding is a teaspoon, or about 5 grams. It's nothing, but it will go a long way in terms of flavor. And we're done. Now we just mix it up. I really like these spatula thingies because they get along the sides really well. With like a spoon or a fork, you can't really do that. You can really get everything mixed in pretty much perfectly. And if you want to check them out, I mean, the links for this, as well as the scale and all the other stuff that I use, is in the description below. Just really want to make sure the tomato paste is broken down and mixed in here. Other than that, everything mixes so easily. It only takes a minute to mix it in. This is the part where you try it. I think it's perfect. I've got some fat chunks in there, got some little chunks in there. The acidity of the tomatoes is gone. It tastes perfect. And it's gonna taste even better once it's in the fridge. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge until we're ready for it. You could definitely save the tomato paste. I think you'll get like 4 or 5 sauces worth, but I've had one in the fridge for about 2 weeks. It's still good. If you do leave this out though, I left it out for 2 days, it was moldy. So definitely put it in the fridge. As far as the sausage, we are going to make 3 servings. If you wanna check out the Italian sausage video I just made a few days ago, go check that out. You'll know exactly how to make it with the exact amounts. And then if you wanna break it down from there, you can choose to do that, because you can choose to make 1 serving of this. You can make 6 servings for the whole week. It's up to you. But we're gonna make 3 servings so you can make it 3 consecutive days fresh. You can make it all at the same time. We're gonna get our garlic press back out. Speaking of which, all of these ingredients pretty much work in concert with each other. They work together. So garlic, I'm gonna be using for everything. Red pepper I use for most things. Onion powder I use for most things. So once you have these ingredients, they are going to be able to be used in a variety of ways in a variety of recipes. So if you're kind of put off by the amount of ingredients you're gonna have to buy, once you buy them, you will have them literally forever. While I'm putting the other ingredients, I'm going to add my fennel seeds to the pan. While that's heating up, we're gonna cut up some parsley. Then of course we gotta add salt, some freshly ground pepper, paprika, onion powder. As I said, these are interchangeable ingredients. We're adding red pepper flakes to this as well. We're just trying to build that flavor, baby. Italian seasoning and a little bit of olive oil. Now we give this a good mix. Now I'm going to put this in the fridge as well, and we are going to make our garlic bread spread. Just like the other 2 things, we are going to meal prep the garlic butter, so when we're ready to eat, we can eat. All of the work is going in right now, so on the back end, when we eat every single day throughout the rest of the week, we don't have to do pretty much anything to get our meals. That's why it's a meal prep. Now, making a return from the cookie dough recipe is the light butter. We're going to use 42 grams of this. As with everything else in this recipe, next we are going to crush some garlic into this. It's not garlic butter without garlic. We're gonna get 3.5 grams of garlic. Then we're gonna add about 1 gram of parsley, fresh if possible. Gram on the dot. See, once you start doing this and making this more, you know what 1 gram looks like just by looking at it. And I'm even getting to that point with vegetables. Pretty crazy, but it's all about repetition, putting the time in, making the meals, making the recipes, and you learn that this stuff isn't hard at all, I promise you. Now we're gonna add 5 grams of olive oil, 5 grams of Parmesan. You are not going to be able to tell the difference between regular garlic bread and the garlic bread we're making here today if you were to eat it separately. I love Parmesan. And then a pinch of salt, literally a pinch. Everything else has salt in it too. It's gonna come together, so we don't wanna over salt the garlic bread. And we're gonna mix it up. Each serving of this weighs about 20, 22, 23 grams. So what we're gonna do is on one side of the sandwich, we're going to put 10, 11, 12 grams. And then on the other side, we're gonna put 10 or 11, 12 grams. And then you're gonna have it for all 3 sandwiches throughout the week. Now we're gonna start this stovetop on like medium, medium low. For instructional purposes, I am cooking all of this at the same time, all 3 servings. I think with any meat, it's always better served fresh. So once per day, I'm more than willing to make this. Takes like 8 minutes. So I have fresh meat every day. So if you ever made a pizza, which most of you probably haven't with sausage, I kind of take like almost like a ball and I press it down. You should hear that sizzle. That's when you know that your stovetop's ready. I try to make them about the even size thickness so that they're all ready and made at the same time. And I leave them on the first side for about 3 minutes. You don't need to put olive oil down or spray down canola oil, whatever it is, because you already have olive oil in the meat. I just try to get them down pretty quickly because this does cook pretty fast since I don't make the pieces super thick. Now in this pan, it is a little bit tight, so that's why I did 3 servings instead of 5, because if you make 6, that's completely fine, but you'll just have to do 2 rounds of this. Now I'm gonna wait about 2 minutes here and I'm gonna flip, and then the ones that are on the outside that aren't getting as much heat, I'm going to bring into the middle. So I'll see you then. Okay, bye. We want to really get that nice brownness on the one side, because once we flip them, you don't get the same brownness on the second side. It's not going to overcook the meat because we still got to cook the other side, obviously. And so we just cook the other side for a little bit less time. Now, I know I'm crazy for eating raw cookie dough, but now I'm going to be real crazy. Instead of playing around and trying to flip this, I'm going to do it with my fingers. I might swear a couple times. I might get slightly burnt, but I've been doing this for rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds of this, and I haven't burned anything. And we're only gonna cook this for another minute or so, and we're gonna pull them off. Because even after you pull them off, they still cook about 5 degrees higher when they're just sitting on the counter. The thing with sausage is you don't wanna overcook it, especially with this 96.4 sausage. So if you overcook it, it is going to be dry. Don't blame me that it's dry. I promise you, because I've overcooked it multiple times, I promise you, if you make it and don't overcook it, it'll still be juicy. It'll still have that olive oil, that nice fatty taste. Just make sure you don't overcook it. This is sort of a 1-pan recipe. You're supposed to only have 1 pan to clean, but I'm going to clean this pan real quick, and then we're gonna get the garlic bread on here. So I'm drying this off real quick with my kitchen towel, and we're throwing it right back on medium-low. Now, I really hope you guys have this Village Hearth brand, because this is a 45 calorie Italian bread, and if not, I'm sure you have a local 35, 45, 50 calorie per slice bread, and worst comes to worst, regular ass bread is like 55 calories, so it's not even a big difference, but I do prefer the Italian version of the bread. I'm gonna put my butter mixture on top of the scale, and then I'm going to take out 11 grams. I'm gonna try to get pretty even coverage. I definitely wanna hit the corners, and then we're gonna plop it right on. Again, about 11 grams, spread throughout, and place it in. Rome wasn't built in a day, and either is making some good ass garlic bread. So it's just gonna have to sit for like 3 or 4 minutes. Then I have to flip it around, because obviously the middle is the most heated part of the pan. So I check every couple minutes, and once this side starts to get brown, I flip it, wait till the other side browns, and then we add all of our ingredients. Now today I'm going to mix 2 things that have never been mixed in the anabolic community before, and that is fat-free mozzarella with regular fat mozzarella. This way we get the benefit of having a lower calorie cheese with higher protein, and we also get that fat, umami, whatever flavor of the cheese. Guarantee you, I tried it only with this, combine them together. It's like a match made in heaven. Trust me, and the macros are tremendous. So we're gonna have an ounce of this, which I put the bag on here, and I'm just gonna add it, and then an ounce of this, and I'm just gonna slice off some very thin slices and also add it to that. We get 2 ounces of cheese on this, and it is going to be incredible. It is so cheesy, it is so good, it blends so nicely with the marinara. All right, this is what we're looking for. See how this brownness is on this side, not on this side? This brownness is perfect. You're not gonna have a huge crunch, but it's gonna be so much better than it's being soft and soggy in the middle. So we're gonna flip it around so the non-brown side is in the middle. And see, this one's even more brown because this is more towards the heat, but we're still gonna flip it around. And now that it's browned and the pan's nice and hot, it's only gonna take another minute for the other side to brown. This is perfect. We got a nice deep brown, not burnt. Now we're just gonna flip this over here. Both of them, beautiful brown. It smells, the aroma in the air is amazing. This is where we gotta work quick. And we're going to add the cheese first. So I'm gonna put a 1/2 ounce on one side, a 1/2 ounce on the other side, because we're having cheese on both sides, baby. That's the bottom line.
Why? Because those Stone Cold said so.
Now with this one, I'm just gonna kind of spread it evenly. I'm not gonna weigh it out. Time is money right now, so we don't wanna burn our sandwich. We gotta work with a quickness. Now I'm going to add, oh, this is a good idea. I haven't done this yet. Let's find out cooked serving weight. 215 grams. So 70 times 3 is 210. So 72 grams cooked is about what you should have for each serving. So we're gonna take 72 grams off of here and we're gonna add it in. And trust me, I made sure we have cheese in every bite. I make sure that we have meat in every bite. Now this has been marinating in here all ready to go for us. How I was figuring out how much to put on here is I was just putting on how much I liked, and it was coming out to about 80 grams. Now I'm gonna pull back the heat just a little bit because everything here is fresh. We really don't need the heat for anything besides blending it all together, which again, we're gonna let it sit. The last finishing touch here is some more Parmesan. And that Parmesan really gives it that distinct flavor. And there's 5 senses and like, I don't know, 4 senses of like taste. Umami is one of them, and Parmesan brings out that umami flavor. As I'm learning more about this food science stuff, and Parmesan is like my favorite anyway, so we're gonna add another 5 grams here to the top to really just polish this perfect ass sausage marinara, meatball marinara, whatever you wanna call it. Ooh, see, I'm glad I turned it down. Already getting brown, but to make it a perfect sandwich. Now, we chill, we wait, we let everything come together, we let that sauce heat up, and I got it on low here. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to put everything away. When you have the time, put it away. When this is in the fridge and you take it out tomorrow, if you put it right on the sandwich and try to have it heat up like it is, you would have to keep it on a really low setting for a really long time. All this needs in the microwave is about 10 to 15 seconds. These will be moderately warm, and then you add them to the sandwich and you'll be good to go by the time the sandwich is done heating up all together. Nice flip, let's do it. Hell yeah. So I have it on such a low setting that it's definitely heating up all the way through, but I want just a little bit more meltiness and goodness. This might sound weird as well because I've done almost everything besides the bread from literal scratch, but I think after, like I said, experimenting with this sandwich, I don't know, I made 15 pounds of meat. I've made other stuff, pizzas and stuff, but I probably made 40 of these sandwiches a shit ton of different ways. Putting it in the nuke machine for about 10 to 15 seconds is the best. We're gonna put this in here for 10 seconds, and then we're gonna show you what it's looking like. Okay, bye. Now let's pull out the cutting board, strap on the old feed bag, and try this meatball marinara sandwich. The crispness is just perfect. This is almost getting too burnt, but it's only in one little tiny area, and I actually like it, like little parts a little deeper brown. You got a great toastiness, a great sound of the bread. The meat is cooked perfectly. You have a layer of cheese on both sides and a nice layer of sauce throughout. It's 5 o'clock, so between this being absolutely delicious and me not eating today, I can't stop. And just so you know, just like the garlic bread combined with the fresh marinara sauce, combined with the perfectly cooked sausage with all of the ingredients in between, it really is just so damn good. With these substitutions, you can still get about 80 to 85% of what this is, but this is another one of those recipes that you will not be able to tell the difference between this and a regular fat, high calorie sandwich. I promise you, I promise you. Ask anyone in the comment section if I've let them down. I don't put out a recipe until it is absolute perfection. We're talking 40 meatball marinara sandwiches before I made this video. 40. Tell me who's testing out 40 times before they put up a video. I'll wait. Okay, so here's the substitutions you can make if you want to save on time or you want to save on some calories. 1, the fat-free cheese. You can use 2 servings of fat-free cheese. This will actually bring up the protein, bring down the calories, but you're sacrificing some flavor. 2, make sure you look at the label, but a 50 calorie per serving for 125 grams is what you're looking for sauce. If you're in a time crunch, you got kids, it's in the middle of the week, you're at the store, you don't want to make the sauce. I get it, you're making a mistake, but I get it. You can get the Classico. It's the same calories, it's just 5 minutes faster since you don't have to put the recipe together. For the garlic bread, you can substitute I can't believe it's not butter. I've been eating I can't believe it's not butter for years. Always have liked it for the fact that it is pretty close to butter, but in some applications it just isn't. This is 35 calories for a serving. The light butter that tastes exactly like real butter, I'm telling you, exactly like real butter, is 50 calories. So you're saving 15 calories, and the garlic bread doesn't taste the same with this. I made about probably 8 to 10 of the sandwiches With this, I can't believe it's not butter. Not gonna work the same, but we're talking about 15 calories here, guys. There's also 35 calorie bread out there. You can use that, save yourself 20 calories overall. Another one, if you're in a time crunch or you forgot it at the store, because there's all the time I go to the store and I forget to get like certain ingredients, especially when they're fresh ingredients, parsley flakes. These are dried. You'll have these on hand just in case you need to add them to your meats or your garlic bread because you don't have any fresh in the fridge. And as I mentioned earlier, pre-shredded cheese. And onto the macros. Now, it was hard for me to come up with like a comparison of what I wanted to use for this, but I just used the Meatball Marinara from Subway, which will give you 460 calories, including the cheese, 21 fat, 47 carbs, 22 protein. However, mine is 466 calories, so about 6 calories more. Interestingly, the same amount of fat between the butter and all that stuff, but only 30 carbs and 44 grams of protein with 4 grams of fiber. That's double the protein for essentially the same calories. We're eating this on garlic bread. What? The garlic bread is such a key factor of flavor when you make it on garlic bread. It is unbelievable. One of the local places around here has an Italian beef sandwich on garlic bread. It is incredible. And that's where I got this idea to put it on garlic bread. Now, I will be honest, this does take, if you're gonna do everything from scratch, about an hour to prepare. So you do have to put a little bit of work in at the start. And now I can make mine in more like 30 to 40 minutes. I say an hour because I know, especially the first time you make a recipe, it does take you longer to do it. If you try this recipe, make sure you comment in the comment section. You guys have been doing absolutely amazing in the comment section, letting everyone know to try the recipe by saying if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you liked about it, why you didn't like it. It really helps everyone know and gives them the confidence to take the time to go to the grocery store, get these ingredients, and make the recipe from scratch. What I really would love to do with this channel as well is just make people like making food. I did not like making food 5 years ago. I loved throwing chicken breast straight into the oven, waiting 40 minutes, and then getting them out and eating. I hate that now. I love making food. I truly enjoy the process, and I hope that some of you guys end up enjoying the process as well, even if you hate it right now. I have so many good things coming up. I have about 5 recipes in the works, and I promise you, if you subscribe, you will not be disappointed. But in the meantime, until next time, I will see you in that next one. Deuces.